right. Thank you all for joining today. And thank you for dropping in the comments where you're watching this from. We're very excited to get started here on how to create a social media strategy for the holidays because they are coming up and there are a lot of them to market for. I'm Kate. I am the newly appointed marketing manager here at MeetEdgar. I talk a lot about social media strategy, content strategy, and my specialty is organic traffic. I'm also a professional singer, and that's really what got me into marketing in the first place because as a musician, you have to market yourself. So if you're also a musician or a singer, drop it in the comments. I would love to connect with you. All right, so today we're going to learn why you should have a holiday social media strategy, the 4 stages of a holiday social media marketing campaign, and some tips to maximize your efforts. So first, let's get into the why. Why should I have a social media campaign during the holidays? Well, the data shows that 75% of internet users use social media to research brands. The other thing is that 80% of people say Instagram helps them decide whether to buy a product or service. So while you might not be using Instagram to market your products or market your services or get new leads or clients, the data shows that people use social media and it's something called dark social. They're sharing with each other, word of mouth. You might have heard the hashtag TikTok made me buy it. TikTok has made me buy many different things because I basically use it like Google. And actually 67% of Gen Zers say that they use TikTok to inform their restaurant recommendations and a lot of their purchase decisions. So the data shows that you need to use social media. Now, first, we're going to go over the 4 stages of a holiday social media launch. They are the planning period, the pre-launch period, the launch period, and post-launch. So first, we're going to go over the planning period. So you're going to want to set your goals, create your offer, and decide on your campaign and set your timeline. So let's discuss that first. So every campaign needs to have a goal. Examples of goals are bringing in new leads, reducing cart abandonment, and building an email list because your goals inform the rest of your launch strategy. So for example, for MeetEdgar's Black Friday 2021 sale, our goals were to build up our email list and increase new trials. We do this by offering incentives for existing customers to sign up for an annual subscription and also offering excellent offers for new customers to sign up. Again, your goals in the beginning here inform everything else that you do throughout the social media campaign. Next, what you're going to do is you need to pick the holidays that you're going to focus on. Now, you might not have a scale to focus on every single holiday. It's a lot of work to put these campaigns together, and it's a lot of time. And not everyone has the work, the ability to have that time. I apologize if I keep going back on slides, but I'm just admitting a few people here that keep coming in. So you're going to want to pick your holiday. Again, we have Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, the New Year. And then once you pick your holiday, you're going to have to decide what you're marketing. So I know we have a lot of consultants that said they were going to be joining us today. So you either might have a new course, new service. Some of you in e-commerce would have a new feature or product, or maybe just existing features and products. So you need to decide what are we marketing, and you're going to use that to target your campaign. Next, you need to decide what your deal is. So are you going to offer a bonus? So if people purchase your product, then you're going to offer them something in exchange for that. Are you going to offer them a percentage off, which is very typical? A lot of stores give between 20 to 50% off for Black Friday sales in particular, on average about 30 to 50%. Or are you going to offer an exclusive? For example, and also you want to be strategic about these discounts. So you need to decide if you're going to be targeting existing customers. Are you going to be targeting churned customers? Or again, from your goals that you set, is your goal to get new leads? The reason this informs this is because, for example, if you want to target your churned customers only, then you only want to send the discount or emails with a discount to those churned customers. So you need to decide your percentage or your deal, which is again, percentage off bonus exclusives. Then you need to decide where you'll launch the deal. Again, this is for social media, so we hope you'll be using social media, but also you need to prepare landing pages, a website. On your website, you need to prepare email marketing materials. So you're going to make a list of all of these things, all of your goals, and what you want to do to create this offer. So next, you're going to set your timeline. So your timeline for this is going to be how long your sale is going to be. And then you need to decide when you're going to post these media channels. We say that you should ideally start prepping more than a month ahead of time. Now, I know it's already November 10th. So unfortunately, you don't have a whole month right now to prepare for Black Friday, but it's never too late. You can absolutely start now. For example, you might set your launch date for November 25th, which is Black Friday this year, and then maybe you decide to have it until November 28th. You can also decide to do a weeks-long sale, which many companies opt to do. And then you also need to decide when you're going to open and close your cart. So if you're going to do an open and close cart deal, then you're going to need to, of course, get that the back end in line. So you need all of these dates to set your timeline. And so I just wanted to show you an example of what a strategy looked like for MeetEdgar from last year. So when November starts, we increase encouragement for blog visitors and social followers. Then around November 6th to November 16th, later in the month, we build our email list, non-customers, and we invite them to sign up for new trials now and gain early access to the deals we're offering on November 27th. And then, of course, on day 2 of every new trial, we send trialing customers access to our deals, like exclusive deals. And then November 26th, we had decided we're starting Black Friday a day early. And a lot of companies opt to do this just to generate that initial buzz. And then we keep our deals open from November 26th to December 2nd. And we email almost every day during the open deal period. And during the open deal period, we shift the content of our social feeds to have a stronger product focus. So this is our whole plan. As you see, we're not going to go through the whole plan, but I just wanted you to visualize what this will look like when you do it yourself. All right, so next we're moving into our pre-launch stage. So the pre-launch phase helps you create awareness for your product, build anticipation or service too. Again, if you're a consultant, you'll have service. Build anticipation and buzz around the upcoming launch and generate valuable leads. So I just want to know, drop it in the comments. Have you in the past generated any hype before your sale, whether that's social promotional materials or anything like that? I just want to know. Just waiting to see if anyone responds. Okay, I haven't. Oh, yes. Okay, I see a yes. Great, Sarah. All right. Jay's just gone into the pitch. All right, so this is kind of what these look like in case you don't know. So the reason I'm mentioning this pre-launch generate excitement buzz thing is that a survey found that more than 50% of consumers begin their holiday shopping or researching for Black Friday as early as October. So again, it's November 10th now, and it's okay if you haven't done it yet. There is still time to generate buzz for your product or service. And when I worked at A2 Hosting and marketing there, we generated buzz by starting our Black Friday a little early that year. As you see Glossier here, our only sale of the year. Wow, you want to put that on your list. That's exciting, right? And then this other Black Friday, so long awaited Black Friday is coming. They have a whole landing page on their website dedicated to Black Friday and already teasing everyone with the sale, save up to 90% off. Then we have Take a Recess. Look at this. So this is just they're introducing a new product line and kind of teasing that before they give their Black Friday promotional deal. So that's what those look like. Next, I want to go into the launch campaign, the launch part of your campaign. So the launch part of your campaign is, again, the launch length. So this is where everything's happening. Your launch has started. Here we go. Then you want to make sure before you do all of this, you optimize your social profiles, and then you set everything live. So once again, we've already set we've kind of determined our timeline, so we know our launch length at this time. But again, I just want to reiterate that the sweet spot is usually 7 days. Now, I showed these tweets here because I thought this was pretty funny. I searched Black Friday a couple of days ago on Twitter, and I think a lot of consumers are a little confused by how companies are now doing these month-long Black Friday sales. I actually think that too many sales like this can cheapen your product, but also it's not just that, it's that you want to really build anticipation for this date. If your sale is a whole month long, then it'll just drag on and on and on. And while that can help for larger volume, for example, when I worked at A2 Hosting, we were inundated with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tickets. So we had decided to open up the Black Friday sale to a couple of weeks just to ease the burden of the sales team. So if you're in e-commerce and you have a small sales team, this would be a good strategy to ease the burden of that sales team. But otherwise, if you're a smaller company, if you're a smaller business, or you're just a practice with clients, you don't need to worry about doing a whole month-long sale. I think the sweet spot really should be 7 days. Open your cart, open the promotion, close it a week later. Next, you want to optimize your social media profile. So what I mean by this, and I'll show you in the next slide, you're going to want to update the last line in your bio to talk about your sale. You want to add some CTAs to all of your social posts. And then you also want to update your link tree with the CTA to products. I highly recommend a link tree if you don't have it. We have one, it's free. We do not partner with them, but it's just, it's a great product because you can put all of your links in one link so that customers kind of know where to find all your social profiles. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. Well, anyway, I just wanted to show someone we really love. It's Shine with Natasha. This is a great example of an optimization best practice for your profile. So as you see here, she's got join the 5-day video confidence challenge with a link. And then she has all of these sort of promotional materials underneath this. So this is great. You see what she does. You see an easy link to join her confidence challenge. And this is kind of what you want to do across all your social media platforms. Next, you want to set everything live. So again, you've done all the hard work at this point. You've set your timeline. You've got it all ready to go. You've already told your developers you've got your back end, your landing pages ready to set live. So make sure all your landing pages are ready. You send out all of your emails, and then you open your cart or you open your discount and you set the code live. I just wanted to show you an example of an email for Black Friday. You've probably seen, or Cyber Monday, you've probably seen Cyber Monday emails before. But just an example of, I love this email just to show how to sign up, what's new, so you can kind of check out more. But yeah, so definitely send out your emails at this point, set everything live, and you're ready to go. But now we're going to get into the most important part of a launch, the post-launch. And it is often overlooked because a lot of people, they've done the work, they're tired, right? We're all tired in the holidays, but this is when it's most important to continue. So in the post-launch stage, you want to audit your launch and maintain engagement. And this is so important. I cannot stress that enough. Obviously, you can see I'm very excited about it. So when you audit your launch, you're going to check on, I just see in the comments here that we're having some breakups. Is anyone else experiencing the video breaking up? I just want to make sure. Okay, it looks like we're all set. All right, great. So I'm going to keep going. So you want to audit your launch. This is where you determine what worked, what didn't, and what can we learn for next time. And so I want to talk just a little bit about auditing your launch. So for example, for MeetEdgar, we reflect by reviewing on what worked. And what we found from last year's launch is that for us, month-long deals didn't work well because in past years we tried them, but everyone wants to see what happens on Thanksgiving anyway with other companies. We also found that email for us always works best to tease out the promotion early. So for example, we used a basic landing page with get on our list to find out what Edgar's got in store this year. And that worked to capture 50 plus new email addresses after only spending $40 on ads. So we got 50 new email leads. And then we also found after auditing our launch that organic support, so all of our lives and content in the month leading up to this, allows us to tease our promotion early. So auditing your launch is very important because without it, you won't know how to optimize your campaign for next year. So next, this is the most important part. You want to maintain engagement. You don't want to post and ghost, which is a phrase that I love because it rhymes and it's very clever and it's true. You do not want to post and ghost. And so when you've got your customers through the door now, and so now you really need to maintain these relationships. Why should they continue to stay with you? So some ways to do this, and we'll go over these, is to batch create posts with MeetEdgar, send out emails to new customers, and then always show them the next steps. So a common mistake during this time is to overproduce content, just inundating your customers with kind of spammy things. But the point is to not produce content just for the sake of producing it. You want to deliver value at every touch point. Customers want to know how and why your product or service will continue to benefit them in the future. Otherwise, why would they stay with you and not go with the other guy or girl or them? So now I want to get into part 2, which is our Black Friday social hacks. So the first one I mentioned is batch creating content and scheduling with Edgar. The reason why we love batch creating content is because you get to get all of your posts out there all at once. And then when you schedule it, you save time, you maintain a consistent feed. So your audience is constantly hearing, like not constantly hearing from you, but hearing from you at the right time. And then you also don't have to remember to post, which is something I always forget to do on my own. But with the right schedule, you won't have to worry about that. You post, you set the schedule, and then you're good. So for those who aren't using MeetEdgar, and even those that do, you really, for these types of sales, want to use Edgar's individual post option for special sales, because otherwise, if you set it for Edgar to pick your times, he might not pick the times that are best for your sales needs. So if you set your individual post option for special sales, you can make sure that you can control the times that you set out. And so this is what it would look like to schedule a category. And then this is what the MeetEdgar schedule looks like. I know most of you are already with us, so I'm just doing this as a little refresher that scheduling your content really helps during these times, and it just really relieves the stress. At least it does for me. All right, and then the other question we get a lot is, when is the best time to post? I think I had asked everyone a question in the email or in the jot form, which was, what do you want to learn from this? And this was the most common answer. So here's the thing. You want to post when you're most likely to have time to engage with your audience. Everyone has these optimized times. For example, we found that in the early morning, you get more clicks, or if you post in the evenings and late at night, you get more engagement. And we also have these times, which are just a general guideline. So for example, Pacific time around 9 a.m. had the most engagement, Mountain time at noon. But the thing that matters most is not any of this. What matters is that you can engage right when your post is live. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, they all track your engagement. So if your post is getting a lot of engagement, they're going to keep ranking it higher and higher and showing up in more and more people's feeds. So you'll get more reach. So the reason why there's really no good answer to this is because the best answer is the one where you can respond to your customers or your clients or leads right away, so that you can continue engaging in that post. And the more engagement that you have, the more high value the social platform is going to see your content. So that's really the answer to that. There's no real time, and it's so specific to your industry and what you do. So you really have to test and test and test. We've actually found that when we post on Sundays, everything's dead. But for your company, you might find that posting on Sundays, people are around, they're on their phones, they're seeing your stuff. So it really depends. So I just want to do a quick recap. So we had our planning period where you set goals, create your offer, set your timeline. Your pre-launch phase where you hype up your sale and you warm your leads up to your sale. Your launch period where you set your sale live and you send all your posts. And then your post-launch where you audit your launch and you maintain those important engagements to have repeat customers. So I just want to have a quick Q&A session here. And then we also have a link in the chat if you want to sign up for a demo, if you want to learn more about how MeetEdgar works. Even if you are a customer, you can still sign up for one of these demos if you want to get more information on how they work. So we can open it up to questions now. If anyone has any questions, I'm ready to answer them. I'll just wait. Well, I'm sorry for those who are having issues with the shaky screen and things breaking up. I do apologize for that. Well, one question I wanted to address that we did get through the email, and I think it's important to address it, is we had someone ask the best social approach for small business in a growing sector. Is it best to be on everything or to focus on just a couple of platforms? And I thought that was just a great question. So the answer to that question is to ask yourself, like, who makes up your audience and what social media networks do they use most? Where are your people hanging out? The way that you find that is how old are your participants? Are they male or female? Who do they follow on these networks? So these sorts of questions inform what platforms you're going to use. Now, the other thing you want to consider is your industry. So not all social media channels align well with your brand or industry or the type of content your audience craves that leads to that conversion. For example, if you're a B2C brand and you have a lot of beauty products, then you're going to want to post on Instagram and Pinterest because they have, you can put beautiful stock images there. So, okay. We have another question here. Does anyone have examples of a social campaign that worked particularly well for them that they would be willing to share? We've never done a formal holiday social campaign and we are open to any and all ideas. Sarah, this is a great question. Actually, I have your email. So what I can do is send you an email of successful examples. I think that would be best just because off the top of my head, I know I can find some, but I can actually send you, if you want, the MeetEdgar campaign that we found worked really well. And in fact, I will send that. I'll send our whole Black Friday campaign that really worked for us. So yeah. All right. And then we have, do you think it is a good idea to still advertise on Instagram and Facebook, even though LinkedIn is where our main leads come from? That's a great question. I mean, I would say, again, it depends on the age that you're trying to target. So Instagram is really great if you're trying to target that 35 to 45 age range. Facebook is good, pretty much 35 plus. But there are still a lot of working professionals on Facebook and Instagram. And I found, here's the thing with Instagram and Facebook is that Reels really do work. And Instagram lately has been really upping their game on the algorithm for Reels. So for example, MeetEdgar had this Reel that we shared about a month ago. And we've actually found that it's still receiving reach and engagement a month later. I don't know if this is something that is, wonky on Instagram's end, but we're going to use that to our advantage. I highly recommend you use Instagram and Facebook right now. Post those Instagram Reels to your Facebook. And even if the Reels don't have to be funny, they can be entertaining and, engaging in educational ways too. I would absolutely use Instagram and Facebook still though, to get that reach especially. So yes. Thank you and I hope that answers your question. Let me know if it doesn't. So I would just finish off by saying, yes, I would advertise on Instagram and Facebook and I would use them together. So thank you so much, Angel, for joining us. Yes, I can't wait till we have more webinars too. Well, if we don't have any more questions, we can also, if you want to open up to unmuting your microphones and ask any questions that way too. But otherwise, if we don't have any additional questions, here we go. Would be interested to see this approach applied to a non-retail setting. consulting, recruiting. Yes, absolutely. And that's very true. So a lot of this actually can be applied to consulting and recruiting, because even though you're not necessarily offering a sale, you can still use a lot of these techniques to get in new clients. So you might want to consider offering, like a free half-hour consultation, or maybe a free, not consultation, but just like a little call to set something up. There are still offers that you can do in the consulting space, to get people to your social media profiles. And like I said, a lot of the reels, and the reach from those can still work for consulting. And I highly recommend that you still use social media to get your business out there. So I do apologize if you felt it was too retail focused, and we'll definitely keep that in mind for the future. But I do think there are still things to take away from this. And if you want me to, I can email you as well to give you an idea of what this might look like more from a consulting point of view. All right, and if we have any additional questions, I'll just leave it open for another couple of minutes here. But I just really want to thank everyone for coming. We're so excited to have you. I really love um, being able to teach you about what I love most, and really hope that you learned something from this.